If you earned $10 per second, it would take about 5 days to make $1 million. But to make $1 billion, it would take over 15 and a half years. It's easy to think of wealth in terms of rich or poor. But broadly speaking, there are 5 different types of rich people. And at different levels, things change drastically. The difference between what a millionaire can do and a billionaire can do is staggering. In this video, we'll be exploring what life is like at each of these different wealth levels and delving into how the ultra-rich spend their money, including some of their most bizarre and extravagant purchases. But as you're watching, you'll realize that one of the biggest changes that happens at each wealth level is perspective. Prices feel relative to how much you earn. So if you compare someone who earns $40,000 a year with someone earning $400 million a year, it's 10,000 times more. That means a Lamborghini that costs $300,000 to them feels like spending $30. A $10 million piece of art feels like $1,000, and a $50 million home in the Hamptons feels like $5,000. The top one is a phrase synonymous with being extremely rich. If your income is over about $200,000 a year, you would technically be part of the top one of worldwide earners. However, being in the top one of worldwide earners may not make you feel quite as rich as you think. Sure, you can typically afford a nice house and car, but you're likely still working a full-time job. Beyond the top one, wealth is measured in net worth rather than income. As the more wealth you have, the more assets you have, and you're probably not making your money from a salary. The next level of rich is the net worth of $10 million to $30 million. Even at this level, you are still not rich in the way that money doesn't matter. You still have to be sensible and careful with big decisions. In the banking world, you're still not classified as ultra high net worth. This brings us to the next level, a net worth of $30 million to $100 million. At this point, you start playing in the big leagues, and most likely you run or have a controlling interest in a very large company. You always stay at 5-star hotels, and you have multiple residences all around the world you can stay at as well. At this level, you take holidays during prime time. For example, going to Monaco for the Grand Prix or Cannes for the film festival. You won't bat an eyelid when the place you're staying at costs $10,000 to $20,000 per night. You have personal assistants and are starting to have people that others have to talk to get to you. You can buy pretty much anything that ordinary people think of as stuff rich people buy, like any cars you want and the fanciest jewelry. Interestingly, since you're likely surrounded by other ultra-wealthy people, you may still feel you don't have enough. Sure, you may have just bought a new Ferrari, but your friend has a limited edition version where only 5 of them were ever made. Sure, you just had dinner with a local governor, but your billionaire friend just had dinner with the president? This brings us to the next level of wealth, a net worth of $100 million to $1 billion. You likely have ownership or control of a business that most of the public has heard of, even if they haven't heard of you directly. At this point, you can likely socialize with movie stars, rock stars, and the corporate elite. You can go pretty much stay anywhere you want and always in style. You have multiple residences with staff from all over the world, with elite cars at every residence. If it's your thing, you might have a private island. And, of course, a private yacht to get you there. Almost any experience you can dream up, you can have. Want to play tennis with your favorite tennis star? Call his people. For a donation of 100 canis to his charity, you can probably play a match with him. Want your favorite band to come and play at your private party? For the right price, they will. Love art. Your people could arrange for the curator of the Louvre to show you around and show you some masterpieces they haven't exhibited in years. If you can dream an experience up, you can likely have it. Donations and fees can get you to anyone. Once you have many hundreds of millions of dollars, it's the same when buying things. You may hire people to find you the most extravagant versions of items possible. For example, the Australian company Toilet Paper Man produces 22-karat gold toilet paper for a cost of over $1.3 million. And if you are going to quite literally flush money down the toilet, why not get a gold toilet or an entire gold bathroom to go with it? In fact, if you're ultra wealthy, you can literally have gold in everything. How about a 24-karat gold water bottle, which in itself is a piece of designer art, and comes with spring water from France and Fiji combined with glacier water from Iceland? Or alternatively, how about the world's most expensive iPhone, which has a 24-karat gold casing, more than 600 white and black diamonds, and sapphire glass for the screen? This certainly isn't available to the public, and to buy one you'd need over $15 million. At this level, it's not just about buying the fanciest, most luxurious items. It's about getting the rarest and most exclusive things you possibly can. You could get a limited edition pen that costs $160,000, has 4,810 diamonds inside, and only 8 are made each year. Or if you want to go bigger, many billionaires turn to art. Not just rare paintings, but things like a dead shark art piece created by Damien Hirst that sold for $12 million. Or, if you like pianos, you could get the same crystal piano that was used for the Beijing Olympic Games. Your mind is the only real limit to what is available. But before we get into what you can do as a billionaire, which is pretty insane, it's worth noting that the number of billionaires on Forbes' annual rich list has significantly increased in recent years, and there are now around 2,755 known billionaires. Of course, it's possible there are more who have generational wealth that simply do a good job of staying very private. Either way, Forbes estimated that these 2,755 billionaires are worth a combined $13 trillion, and therefore have more wealth between them than the poorest 5 billion people on Earth combined. In fact, Oxfam has argued that the very richest 26 billionaires have more wealth between them than the poorest 50s of the entire world. These statistics are overwhelming, but let's actually visualize them to put things in perspective. This rice example really highlights that even within this billionaire category, the difference between 1 billion and the kind of wealth Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk has is insanely vast.
CEO Jeff Bezos have in terms of rice. 1 billion, Jeff Bezos has 122 of these, or 58 pounds of rice. If each grain of rice was 100K. Look how big this is, guys. I'm gonna show you the scale here. I'm gonna put a keyboard in just for fun. Look how deep that goes.
So now that we've got a better idea of the scale of $1 billion, let's look at what you can do with it. Because essentially you can buy anything. And I do mean anything. We're no longer just talking about luxurious items and experiences. Firstly, you can buy access. You can ask your staff to contact almost anyone on the planet and get a callback. It's amazing the level of access and respect a billion can get you, where within an hour you could ask your people to get in touch with someone and they'd be able to do it. It's not just celebrities either. It works the same with powerful people within politics too, especially because the billionaire may well be a donor to their political party. And so if you're a billionaire, you may occasionally meet with heads of state and have conversations with them. This brings us to the second thing $1 billion can buy: influence. As a billionaire, you have many ways to shape public policy and the public debate. This isn't always done in some kind of evil way, like lobbying for lower taxes for rich people, although that obviously does happen. But because of your wealth and connections, you can absolutely influence big changes in the world, and not just on a political level. Another thing you can buy is impact through philanthropy and charity. Your money can literally change countless lives. The question is, how do you distribute it? Clean water for villages, fund new hospitals, try to save a dying species of animal. With money, you can impact almost anything of your choice. One of the biggest differences between billionaires and the rest of us is their ability to buy time. They don't have to wait in lines or sit around because they have the means to bypass these inconveniences. For example, a billionaire can just show up at the airport and board their private jet, taking off just minutes later to go wherever they wish. When they arrive at their destination, a driver will be there to take them wherever they want to go. Their assistant has likely already arranged the best table at a restaurant or even hired a celebrity chef to come to one of their vacation homes at their preferred time. Essentially, billionaires can avoid the waiting and inconvenience that most of us experience in our daily lives. However, there are some downsides to being ultra wealthy. One of the biggest challenges is maintaining normal emotional relationships. It can be difficult to have friends and family who love you for who you are, rather than for your wealth or status. This is because your world is likely filled with people who are looking to take advantage of every opportunity and may not have your best interests at heart. Being ultra wealthy can also weaken your trust and connections with people. Dating can be an odd experience as well. On the one hand, there are many beautiful and intelligent women around you at parties and events. However, finding someone you have a genuine emotional connection can be difficult, especially because you are always busy and unable to invest in making deep connections with new people. Even if you do find someone, the relationship dynamic can be skewed in a strange way when you have essentially unlimited money. No matter whether you pay for everything or whether your partner makes their own money, something may feel off in the relationship. It can be challenging to find balance and a genuine connection in these circumstances. And finally, it is important to note that no level of wealth can give you everything. We've looked at several levels of wealth in this video, but the fact that you are able to watch this means you are nowhere close to the bottom of the wealth pyramid. It's easy to look up and feel frustrated that some people have more than us. But just remember that if you have internet access to watch this, plus food in the fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and a place to sleep, you are richer than 75 of the world. Even if you have just $1 to your name right now, you are still richer than the majority of the world who are either in debt or have nothing. It's important to keep things in perspective and remember that we are all blessed with something, no matter our financial situation. What this video really highlights is that the distinction between rich and poor is very arbitrary. There are many, many levels of wealth, and compared to most of the world, you may be a lot richer than you think. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, as more videos are on the way. Thank you for watching to the end. You are great, and I'll see you in the next video.